Hello, everyone. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt the fire of a dream burning inside you, bright, bold, and unstoppable, only to watch it fade away over time? Maybe it was a fitness goal, a business idea, a personal mission, or even a promise you made to yourself. You wanted it, you could see it. You even planned for it, but somewhere along the way, it slipped out of your grasp. Why? Was it a lack of motivation? No. Was it because the dream was impossible? Not likely. More often than not, it all comes down to one thing: discipline. Goals are exciting, they're shiny, full of hope and promise, but without discipline, they're like cars with no fuel. You can admire the shape, you can imagine the journey, but you're not going anywhere. Discipline is the bridge, the unshakable connection between where you are and where you want to be. It is the daily decision to show up even when you don't feel like it. It's the commitment to follow through long after the excitement has faded. It's the quiet force behind every great achievement in history. Let's be honest, everyone sets goals. At the beginning of a new year, the start of a new month, or after a moment of inspiration, we all make declarations. I'm going to lose weight. I'll start my business this year. I will write that book. I'll be more disciplined. But how many of those goals ever see the light of day? Very few. The graveyard is filled with dreams that never took flight because the dreamer lacked the discipline to keep going when things got tough. You see, motivation is temporary. It's the spark that gets you started, but it fades. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a fire that keeps burning quietly, steadily, without needing attention. It's not glamorous. It's not always exciting, but it's dependable. It shows up day in and day out. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It just gets to work. That's what separates the successful from the stuck. Take a moment and look around you. Every successful person you admire, whether it's an athlete, an entrepreneur, a writer, a leader, has one thing in common: they mastered discipline. They didn't just rely on their passion or talent. They built routines. They sacrificed comfort. They said no when others said yes. They showed up when no one was watching. Their results weren't an accident. They were earned through consistent, disciplined action. Now, this isn't meant to discourage you. It's meant to wake something up inside you. Because here's the truth: discipline is not a gift. It's a choice. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build. It starts small, waking up on time, keeping promises to yourself, finishing what you start. And over time, it grows into a powerful force that shapes your identity, your results, and ultimately your legacy. In this speech, we're going to dive deep into the meaning of discipline. We'll explore why goals are meaningless without action. We'll uncover how to turn discipline into a daily habit, how to stay strong when distractions and excuses come knocking, and how to hold your ground when life gets hard. Because let me tell you, it's not your dreams that determine your destiny, it's your discipline. So if you've ever wondered why some people make it and others don't, if you've ever questioned what it really takes to turn your goals into accomplishments, or if you're ready to stop starting over and finally finish something you started, then this is your moment. Because on the path to success, there's only one way across the gap between intention and impact. That way is discipline, and that bridge is waiting for you to cross. Goals are important. They give us direction, they ignite hope, and they paint a picture of what's possible. A goal is a declaration that says, "This is what I want." But here's the truth: most people avoid goals alone, don't get you there. You can dream the biggest dream, write the most detailed plan, and visualize your future every single day. But unless you back that goal with discipline, it will never come to life. Think about this. How many people do you know who have incredible goals? People who want to start a business, lose weight, get out of debt, become authors, create impact, or live a life of purpose. They talk about it, they get excited about it, they even take the first step, but after a few days, weeks, or months, they fall off track. Life gets busy, motivation disappears, obstacles show up, and that one shining goal fades into the background. Why does this happen? Because motivation is temporary. Goals are emotional, but discipline is stable. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't rely on perfect conditions. It simply shows up every day, whether you feel like it or not. Let's use an example. Imagine two people set the same goal to run a marathon in 6 months. One person gets inspired, buys all the gear, tells their friends, and runs hard the first week. But by the second week they're tired. It's raining. They skip a day. Then another. Soon their shoes are collecting dust. The second person, however, shows up daily. They run in the rain. They stretch when sore. They follow a training plan and stay consistent. Who ends up crossing the finish line? Not the most excited person, the most disciplined one. Discipline is the force that turns your "I want" into "I did." It is the daily commitment to act, even when it's not fun, even when it's not convenient. And this is where most people fall short. They confuse setting a goal with achieving it. But the real work doesn't start when you write the goal down. It starts the next morning when your alarm rings and you don't feel like getting up, but you do anyway. The power of discipline lies in the small, quiet decisions, the ones no one sees. It's choosing water over soda. It's writing the next page of your book when you'd rather scroll on your phone. It's staying late to finish a project. It's saying no to distractions and yes to your future. It's the repetition of small sacrifices that lead to big results. And let's be clear, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You'll have bad days. You'll make mistakes, but disciplined people don't stay down. They reset and keep going. They don't let failure be the end. They let it be the teacher. Here's something else to understand. Discipline is a form of self-respect. It's proving to yourself that your goals matter. It's proving that your future matters more than temporary comfort. The more you practice discipline, the more confident you become. Not just in your abilities, but in your identity. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who doesn't quit, someone who finishes what they start. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. In fact, discipline is hard. That's why so few people have it. But that's also why disciplined people rise to the top. Because in a world full of excuses, laziness, and short attention spans, discipline is a superpower. So if you have a goal, don't just rely on inspiration. Build the habits, create the structure, hold yourself accountable. When you feel like quitting, remember that every great accomplishment in history was built on the back of someone who kept going when others stopped. Let this be the shift in your mindset. Don't just be a goal setter, be a goal finisher. Because in the end, your dreams don't care how passionate you were in the beginning. They only care whether you had the discipline to bring them to life. Discipline is not a one-time act. It's not just about waking up early once, working hard for a few days, or being focused for a week. True discipline is about consistency. The kind that transforms effort into lifestyle. And the key to maintaining that consistency, daily habits. Think of discipline like a muscle. You don't grow it by doing something big once. You build it by doing something small, again and again. Just like going to the gym, one intense workout won't make you strong. But working out every day, even for 20 minutes, will transform your body over time. The same principle applies to success in any area of life. It's not about big changes. It's about daily habits. Let's break it down. Every goal, no matter how massive, is actually made up of a series of tiny actions. Want to write a book? That's not one big task. It's writing a few pages a day. Want to get fit? That's not one giant workout. It's consistent exercise, healthy meals, and good sleep. Want to grow a business? That's not one lucky break. It's making calls, creating content, solving problems, and showing up daily. That's why building daily habits is one of the most powerful things you can do. Habits are your automatic routines, things you do without thinking. When your discipline turns into habit, success becomes easier because you're no longer relying on willpower. You're relying on rhythm. But here's the key. You must intentionally create those habits, because if you don't create your habits, your environment will create them for you. And most environments are built for comfort and distraction, not for growth. Social media, junk food, sleeping in, procrastination. These are habits too. The difference is they lead you away from your goals, not toward them. So how do you turn discipline into daily habit? 1. Start small. Don't try to change everything at once. That leads to burnout. Start with one habit. Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's drinking water first thing in the morning. Maybe it's reading 10 pages a day, or writing down your goals each night. Small wins build confidence. Confidence fuels consistency. Consistency builds transformation. 2. Be clear and specific. Don't just say, I want to be more disciplined. Say, I will write for 30 minutes every morning at 6 a.m. Discipline loves clarity. The more specific you are, the easier it becomes to follow through. 3. Create triggers and routines. Habits grow when they're tied to routines. For example, if you want to start journaling, do it right after brushing your teeth. If you want to meditate, link it to your morning coffee. Your brain starts to associate one action with another, and soon it becomes automatic. 4. Track your progress. There's power in watching your growth. Use a habit tracker or a journal. Each checkmark is proof that you're showing up. And over time you'll build momentum, and momentum creates motivation. 5. Be patient and persistent. No habit is built overnight. Science says it takes about 66 days to form a new habit. Some take more, some less. The secret is persistence. Don't break the chain. And if you do miss a day, don't miss two. Get back on track immediately. The beauty of daily discipline is this: it compounds. Just like money in a savings account grows over time, your disciplined actions grow into massive results. One page a day becomes a book. One workout a day becomes a fit body. One small step a day becomes a giant leap forward. And don't underestimate how these habits reshape your mindset. Every time you follow through, you're proving something powerful to yourself. I can be trusted. I am committed. I am becoming who I said I would be. That builds self-respect. And that self-respect turns into belief. The belief that you're capable of more. Eventually the things that once felt hard, waking up early, saying no to distractions, staying focused, become your new normal. That's when discipline isn't something you do, it's something you are. So if you're serious about your goals, stop asking for motivation. Start building systems. Start designing your days with intention. Turn your values into actions and your actions into habits. Because in the end, it's not the goals you set that shape your future, it's the habits you keep. Discipline becomes powerful when it becomes a lifestyle. And that lifestyle starts one habit at a time. We live in the loudest era in human history. Every second, our attention is being pulled in 1,000 different directions. Social media, notifications, emails, ads, television, endless entertainment, and even our own self-doubt, whispering excuses in the back of our minds. In this world of constant noise and distraction, discipline is not just helpful, it is essential. If you can master discipline in a world designed to break your focus, you can master anything. Let's be honest, distraction is the enemy of progress. You sit down to work on your dream, and a notification pops up. You're about to start a workout, and suddenly you're scrolling on your phone. You plan to wake up early, but the comfort of the bed convinces you to hit snooze. Day after day, these small distractions chip away at your goals. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because the world is designed to steal your time. And without discipline, it wins. This is where discipline becomes your shield. It's your defense against a world that wants your attention more than it wants your success. Discipline teaches you to say no to what doesn't serve you, so you can say yes to what does. But it's not just external distractions we battle. The deeper war is internal. The excuses we make. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. I don't feel like it. What if I fail? Sound familiar? Excuses are clever. They wear the mask of logic. They sound reasonable. They make you feel safe. But what they really do is protect your comfort zone. And no one ever achieved greatness by staying comfortable. Discipline is what shuts those excuses down. It tells you, yes, you're tired, but you made a commitment. It says, you may not feel like it, but feelings are not facts. It reminds you progress isn't always loud. It's often boring, repetitive, and invisible at first. But it's still progress. Let me share something powerful with you. You do not need to feel ready to act. You just need to act. Waiting until you're inspired or perfectly prepared is a trap. The most successful people don't wait for perfect conditions. They create them through discipline. So how do we overcome distraction and excuses in this noisy world? 1. Control your environment. You can't always rely on willpower, but you can design your space to support your goals. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow. Want to eat healthy? Remove junk food from your home. Want to focus? Turn off notifications, block distracting apps, and create a workspace that helps you focus. Make it easy to do the right thing and hard to do the wrong one. 2. Time block with intention. Discipline thrives on structure. Set clear times for deep work, rest, learning, and recovery. When your day is scheduled, your mind is focused. When it's open and chaotic, distractions will fill the gaps. Decide when you'll work, when you'll disconnect, and stick to it. Don't negotiate with yourself every day. Plan once and follow through. 3. Limit decisions. Mental fatigue kills discipline. The more decisions you make, the weaker your willpower becomes. That's why successful people simplify. Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. Athletes follow the same routines. The fewer choices you need to make, the more mental energy you have to resist distractions and excuses. Automate what you can, so you can focus on what matters. 4. Use the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins coined a powerful idea. If you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must move within 5 seconds or your brain will kill it. Don't overthink. Don't wait. Count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do the thing. Stand up.
Let's start moving.
Open the laptop. Begin. Action kills procrastination. 5. Practice self-awareness.
You must recognize your patterns. What distracts you most? When do you make the most excuses? What triggers your procrastination? Once you're aware, you can create better responses. Self-awareness turns discipline from something you force into something you understand and practice intentionally. Here's the truth. You will never live a distraction-free life. You will always be tempted to choose comfort over commitment, but the people who succeed are not those who never feel distracted or discouraged. They are the ones who feel it and stay focused anyway. They stay committed when it's inconvenient. They stay disciplined when the world gives them every reason to quit. In a noisy world, discipline is your quiet superpower. While others scroll, you build. While others make excuses, you take action. While others dream, you do. And when you keep doing that day after day, you start to separate yourself from the crowd. Not because you're more talented, but because you're more focused. The world will always be noisy, but your discipline can always be louder. Anyone can be disciplined when things are easy. When life is smooth, the schedule is clear, and energy is high. Showing up doesn't feel like a struggle. But life is rarely that perfect for long. Storms come, distractions increase, setbacks hit, motivation disappears, and this is where most people give up. Not because they lack talent or desire, but because they don't have the discipline to stay the course under pressure. Real discipline is revealed when things get hard. It's not tested in your comfort but in your crisis. It's easy to stick to your goals when everything is going your way. But what happens when the path gets steep? When your plans fall apart? When results don't show up as fast as you hoped? That's when most people start to slip. They start questioning if the goal is worth it. They start looking for shortcuts. They start telling themselves stories like, maybe it wasn't meant to be, or maybe this just isn't the right time. But here's the truth. Pressure doesn't destroy discipline, it reveals it. When life presses down on you, your habits, mindset, and commitment rise to the surface. That's why champions, whether in sports, business, or life, are not just built in the spotlight. They're built in the dark. When no one's watching and everything inside them wants to quit. Think about any great success story you admire. Behind it you will find a season of pressure, a moment when that person was tested. Maybe they were broke, maybe they were rejected, maybe they lost everything. But they didn't walk away. They didn't let the pressure break them. They leaned on their discipline and kept moving forward. And that's the key. Discipline doesn't guarantee that you won't struggle. It guarantees that you'll keep showing up even when you do. It's getting up at 5 a.m. when your body is screaming to stay in bed. It's pushing through the workout when your legs are burning. It's writing one more paragraph when your mind is blank. It's sticking to your values when no one else is. When pressure hits, discipline whispers, I don't care how hard it is, I'm still doing it. That kind of mindset is rare. It's powerful, and it's what separates winners from wishers. So how do you stay disciplined when pressure is pushing you to stop? 1. Remember your why. When everything feels heavy, go back to the reason you started. Why does this goal matter? Who are you doing it for? What's at stake if you quit? Your why gives your discipline a deeper purpose. It fuels you when your feelings fail you. 2. Focus on the next step under pressure. Thinking about the entire journey can feel overwhelming. Don't focus on the finish line. Just focus on the next small step, then the next one, and the next. Discipline isn't about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing something consistently. 3. Expect the struggle. Discipline under pressure becomes easier when you expect resistance. Struggle doesn't mean failure. It's a part of growth. Don't be surprised by it. Be prepared for it. When you understand that challenges are part of the process, you don't panic when they arrive. You adapt. You push through. 4. Lean into routine. When life feels chaotic, routine creates stability. Your habits become your anchor. When your emotions are all over the place, your routine keeps you grounded. That's why building habits early is so important. They give you something solid to fall back on when the storm hits. 5. Talk to yourself. Don't listen to yourself. When pressure builds, your inner voice may start feeding you doubt and fear. Don't just listen, speak back. Remind yourself of your strength. Remind yourself of the work you've already done. Say things like, I've come too far to quit now. The mind follows the strongest voice, and that voice should be your own. Pressure is not the end of the road. It's a proving ground. It's where discipline becomes unbreakable. Every time you push through it, you grow. You get tougher. You earn confidence. And you build the kind of self-trust that no storm can shake. Because at the end of the day, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about doing what needs to be done, especially when it's hardest. That's what builds champions. So the next time pressure shows up, don't see it as the enemy. See it as the test. And when the world asks if you're strong enough, let your discipline be the answer. You don't rise when life is easy. You rise when you stay committed, especially when it's hard. That's discipline under pressure. That's how greatness is born. We've traveled a long way in this journey together. We've uncovered the truth that goals alone are not enough. that it's not what you dream that defines your destiny, but what you do daily. We've seen how discipline turns into power when it's practiced as a lifestyle through consistent habits. We've explored how to overcome distractions and excuses in a world that's constantly trying to steal your focus. And we've walked through the fire, learning how to stay committed when pressure, pain, and setbacks try to break your spirit. Now it all comes down to this: what will you do next? Because here's the truth: you don't need another goal-setting session. You don't need another motivational quote. What you need now is discipline. Not tomorrow. Today. Not when life calms down. Not when you feel more ready. Right now. Because every dream you've ever had,
Every goal you've ever written down, every version of your future you've imagined, they're waiting on the other side of one thing: your daily decision to stay disciplined, to keep showing up, to keep moving forward, to keep choosing long-term purpose over short-term pleasure. Discipline is not easy. That's why it's rare. That's why it's valuable. But here's the beauty of it: anyone can build it. You don't have to be gifted. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to decide that your future matters more than your comfort. You just have to choose not to quit. So let today be the line in the sand. Let today be the day you stop starting over. Let today be the day you stop waiting for the right mood or moment. Let today be the day discipline becomes your daily lifestyle, not your once-in-a-while effort. Because your goals are still possible, your vision still matters, and your potential is still alive. But only if you build the bridge between dreaming and doing. And that bridge is called discipline. Walk it, own it, live it. And one day soon, when you look back at everything you've accomplished, when you stand on the other side of your dream with proof in your hands, you won't say, "I was lucky." You won't say, "It just happened." You'll say with pride and power, "I earned this. I stayed disciplined. I built the bridge and I crossed it." Now go be the person your goals require. The disciplined version of you is waiting, and your future is ready. Thank you.